As we get older, staying strong and steady becomes more important than ever. Around age 60 and beyond, it's common to notice changes, like feeling a bit weaker, losing balance more easily, or getting tired faster after simple activities. That's mostly because our muscles naturally start to shrink, a process called sarcopenia. But here's the good news. There's a lot we can do to slow it down or even reverse it. This video is all about that. You'll learn 7 simple habits that can help you maintain and rebuild muscle as you age. These aren't extreme workouts or complicated routines. They're realistic, science-backed habits that fit into your daily life, no matter your fitness level. You might be surprised by how much progress you can make just by moving a little more, eating the right foods at the right times, and making small changes to your routine. It's never too late to feel stronger, move with confidence, and stay independent for years to come. Let's explore these 7 habits together and find what works best for you. Because your strength matters, and you deserve to feel your best at any age. Now that we understand how vital your muscles are to maintaining independence as you age, let's begin with the very first habit: progressive strength training. This is one of the most effective and science-backed ways to protect and rebuild muscle after the age of 60. It's not about lifting heavy weights or pushing yourself to exhaustion. Instead, it's about applying just enough resistance to challenge your muscles and gradually increasing that resistance over time. Why does this matter so much? As we get older, we naturally lose muscle mass in a process known as sarcopenia. But the good news is this loss is not irreversible. A landmark study from McMaster University found that older adults, even those in their 70s and 80s, can significantly improve their muscle size and strength through a structured, progressive strength training program. The principle is simple. When you apply resistance to your muscles, they respond by getting stronger. And when that resistance increases over time, whether by adding a few more reps, using a thicker resistance band, or doing a slightly deeper squat, you keep encouraging your muscles to grow and adapt. You don't need a fancy gym membership to get started. Bodyweight exercises at home, such as chair squats, wall push-ups, or simple step-ups, are a great foundation. The key is consistency, proper form, and slow progression beyond muscle strength. This kind of training helps with balance, posture, bone density, metabolism, and even mental health. It reduces the risk of falls and injuries, one of the biggest concerns for people in their 60s and beyond. If you're new to strength training, talk to your doctor first, especially if you have any medical conditions. Then start small. 2 or 3 times a week is enough to make a real difference. You might feel a bit sore first, but that's your body waking up, responding, adapting, and growing stronger. Remember, it's never too late to build strength. Muscles respond to challenge at any age. And by making strength training a regular habit, you're investing in your future mobility, confidence, and independence. Now that you understand how progressive strength training stimulates your muscles to grow, let's talk about something just as important: your brain's connection to those muscles. This brings us to habit 2, maintaining a strong neuromuscular connection. As we age, one of the lesser-known reasons for muscle loss isn't just wear and tear. It's a breakdown in communication between your brain and your body. Your brain sends electrical signals through your nervous system to activate your muscles. When that signal weakens, your muscles stop responding the way they used to. That's why you may notice slower reactions, less coordination, or even occasional stumbling. But here's the good news. This connection is like a two-way street, and it can be trained and strengthened. Activities that require coordination, balance, and quick decision-making are excellent for keeping the neuromuscular system sharp. For example, Tai Chi, dancing, table tennis, and even recreational tennis help reinforce the brain-muscle link. These exercises challenge both your body and your mind, forcing them to work together, just like they did when you were younger. And it's not just physical movement. Your nutritional choices can support the system too. Nutrients like alpha-lipoic acid, acetyl-L-carnitine, and vitamin B1, especially in the form of benfotiamine, are known to support healthy nerve function. These nutrients act like maintenance tools for your nerve pathways, keeping the communication lines open and efficient. If you've noticed numbness, tingling, or slower movement lately, don't ignore those signs. They could be early warnings that your neuromuscular system needs attention. So, how can you begin strengthening this connection? Start with simple coordination activities. Balance on one leg while brushing your teeth, do light footwork drills, or try Tai Chi videos online. If possible, add 1 or 2 coordination focus sessions to your weekly routine. When your brain and muscles work in sync, you move more confidently, react faster, and reduce your risk of falls. Combined with strength training, this habit creates a powerful foundation for independence and agility. Now that we discussed the importance of maintaining a strong brain-muscle connection, it's time to tackle a silent factor that affects nearly every part of your body, including your muscles. Let's move on to habit 3, managing chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is like a low-grade fire that slowly burns inside your body. Unlike the short-term inflammation you get from an injury, which helps you heal, chronic inflammation lingers for months or even years. Over time, this persistent state of stress damages tissues, accelerates aging, and contributes to the gradual breakdown of muscle mass. The good news? You can absolutely reduce this inflammation and protect your muscles with some simple science-backed lifestyle choices. First, prioritize good sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of consistent, restful sleep each night. Your body uses this time to repair cells and regulate inflammatory processes. Going to bed and waking up at the same time each day strengthens your circadian rhythm and reduces stress hormones. Next, focus on gut health. An unhealthy gut can drive systemic inflammation. To support it, eat more fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi. Add a variety of plant-based foods, vegetables, fruits, beans, and whole grains to feed your beneficial gut bacteria. The more diverse your plant intake, the stronger and more balanced your gut microbiome becomes. Moderate physical activity is also key. You don't need intense workouts to fight inflammation. In fact, low to moderate intensity exercise done regularly, like walking, swimming, or light resistance training, can significantly reduce inflammatory markers in older adults. And finally, consider adding natural anti-inflammatory nutrients to your diet. Omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish like salmon, curcumin from turmeric, and polyphenol from green tea are powerful inflammation fighters. These compounds work at the cellular level to calm overactive immune responses and protect your muscles from breakdown. By controlling chronic inflammation, you're not only preserving muscle but also supporting heart health, brain function, and joint mobility. It's a win on every front. Now that we've addressed the role of inflammation and muscle loss, it's time to shift our attention to something equally important but often overlooked: micronutrients. Welcome to Habit 4, supporting muscle health with essential micronutrients. When we think about nutrition and muscles, we often focus on protein. But behind the scenes, your body depends on a wide range of vitamins and minerals to keep muscles strong, nerves firing, and energy flowing. Let's begin with magnesium. Over 70% of older adults in the U.S. are magnesium deficient, largely due to poor diet and medication use. Magnesium plays a central role in muscle contraction, relaxation, and recovery. A shortage can lead to cramps, fatigue, and even weakness. Leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains are great sources, but supplementation may be necessary if your levels are low. Next up is creatine. Yes, the same compound often associated with athletes. But here's the truth. Creatine isn't just for bodybuilders. Clinical studies show that creatine can help older adults increase muscle mass, boost strength, and improve overall physical performance, especially when combined with strength training. It's safe, affordable, and naturally found in small amounts in foods like red meat and fish. Then there's vitamin B12, specifically in its active form methylcobalamin. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 declines, especially for those on acid-reducing medications. B12 is vital for nerve function and muscle coordination. Deficiency can lead to tingling, balance issues, and fatigue. A simple blood test can reveal if you're low, and supplements are widely available. Other key players include zinc, selenium, and chromium. Zinc helps repair muscle tissue and supports your immune system. Selenium has antioxidant properties that protect muscle cells from damage. And chromium helps regulate blood sugar, giving your muscles the steady energy they need to function properly. The bottom line? Without these micronutrients, even the best exercise and diet plans can fall short. Think of them as the spark plugs that keep your muscular engine running smoothly. Now that we've covered the importance of micronutrients, let's dive into one of the most practical, yet often misunderstood, strategies for preserving muscle as we age: protein timing. Welcome to Habit 5, optimizing protein timing for better muscle health. Most older adults know that protein is essential for muscle strength. But here's what many don't realize. When you consume, your protein matters just as much as how much you eat. Here's why. As we age, our bodies become less responsive to protein, a condition known as anabolic resistance. This means your muscles don't build or repair themselves as efficiently, even when you eat enough. But research shows there's a simple way to work around this. Spread your protein evenly throughout the day. Instead of having a large amount of protein at dinner, which is typical in most American diets, aim to get around 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This approach gives your body multiple chances to trigger muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to build and maintain muscle. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who distributed their protein intake more evenly saw significantly better muscle protein synthesis compared to those who consume most of their protein at one meal. What does this look like in real life? A protein-rich breakfast might include eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie. At lunch, think grilled chicken, tuna salad, or lentils with quinoa. And for dinner, a piece of salmon, turkey, or tofu stir-fry. The key is to make sure every meal pulls its weight. Also, don't forget snacks. Protein bars, cottage cheese, or a handful of nuts can help fill the gaps, especially if your appetite isn't as strong as it used to be. By optimizing your protein timing, you're not just feeding your muscles. You're actively fighting age-related muscle loss, improving your balance, and supporting long-term independence. Now that we've talked about the power of protein timing, let's shift to a vitamin that often flies under the radar, but plays a crucial role in both muscle strength and mobility. Welcome to Habit 6, maintaining optimal vitamin D levels. Most people associate vitamin D with bone health, and that's true. But what's often overlooked is how vital this nutrient is for muscle function, balance, and even preventing falls in older adults. Low levels of vitamin D have been linked to reduced muscle strength, slower walking speeds, and increased risk of frailty. So what's considered low? A blood level below 20 nanograms per milliliter, Ing/ml, is considered deficient, and unfortunately, many older adults fall into this category, especially during the winter months or if they spend a lot of time indoors. For optimal muscle support, most research suggests aiming for levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter. The good news? This is easy to check with a simple blood test during your regular checkup. And if you are low, supplementation can make a noticeable difference. Most older adults benefit from 1,000 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, but always talk to your healthcare provider before starting. And here's a key tip. Pair your vitamin D with vitamin K2, especially if you're also taking calcium. Vitamin K2 helps direct calcium to your bones, where it's needed, and keeps it away from your arteries, where it can cause problems. You can also support your vitamin D levels naturally by spending 15 to 20 minutes in the sun a few times a week, though this can vary depending on your skin tone and where you live. In summary, don't let this small vitamin be a weak link in your muscle health strategy. Optimizing your vitamin D level is one of the simplest yet most powerful steps you can take to support strength, coordination, and independence as you age. Now that we've covered the vital role of vitamin D, let's wrap up our 7 key habits by talking about something a little different, but equally powerful. It's a concept known as hormetic stress. And while it may sound technical, the idea is simple. Small, controlled amount of physical or environmental stress can actually make your body stronger and more resilient over time. This is Habit 7, applying beneficial mild stress. Let's begin with temperature exposure. Brief periods of cold or heat exposure, like a short cold shower, a warm sauna, or alternate between the two, can stimulate special proteins in your body called heat shock proteins. These proteins help protect and repair muscle tissue, reduce inflammation, and support cellular health. It doesn't take much. Just a few minutes, a few times per week, can provide noticeable benefits. Next, let's talk about intermittent fasting. This doesn't mean extreme dieting. Simply eating within an 8 to 10 hour window each day. say from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., can trigger a natural cellular cleanup process called autophagy. This process clears out damaged components in your cells, supports mitochondrial function, and can even help improve muscle recovery and energy levels. Many older adults find the schedule easy to follow and feel more energetic as a result. Finally, there's isometric exercise, which involves tightening your muscles without moving your joints. For example, pressing your palms together in front of your chest or holding a wall sit position. These exercises are excellent for maintaining muscle strength and control, especially if you have joint pain or mobility limitations. They're low impact but surprisingly effective when done regularly. What all these techniques have in common is that they introduce gentle challenges to the body, enough to activate healing and strengthening pathways without overwhelming your system. Think of hormetic stress as a little nudge that keeps your muscles, nerves, and metabolism sharp. It's not about pushing your limits. It's about strategic stimulation that helps you age with strength, clarity, and control. Now that we've walked through all 7 habits, let's take a moment to bring all together. Maintaining strong, healthy muscles after 60 isn't just possible. It's well within your reach. With a thoughtful approach, your body can remain active, resilient, and capable for years to come. Start with progressive strength training to rebuild and preserve muscle mass. Support that with neuromuscular activities that keep the connection between your brain and muscles sharp. Reduce the effects of chronic inflammation by sleeping well, eating gut-friendly foods, and staying active. Don't overlook micronutrients like magnesium, creatine, and vitamin B12. They're the building blocks your muscles rely on. Time your protein intake evenly throughout the day for the best results. Keep your vitamin D levels in the optimal range to support both bones and muscles. And finally, introduce mild stressors like cold exposure, intermittent fasting, and isometric exercises to stimulate repair and growth. Together, these habits form a science-backed, realistic path to stronger muscles and better health as you age. You don't have to do everything at once. Even small changes make a big difference. Your strength is still yours to build, and it's never too late to begin.